Particularly balmy this morning. Of course, it is about 2.5 hours later than yesterday, but yesterday was 9, today's 33. It's going to be warmer. The snow will soon be gone, I imagine. Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. So I have my fog machine, and I slept later, and I had a good night's sleep, and so I'm feeling much better. Yesterday was not a great day for me. I was cold a lot. I have my, because I don't put anything away, I'm sitting on my granny stripe blanket because I was snuggled in that blanket all day yesterday. I read for a long time, but I did finish. I finished Dora's Hat, but I think it's too small. It's very tight on me. Now, I don't know if Aura's head is much bigger than mine, but it feels very tight on me, and if it were for me, I would be taking it out and re-knitting it, but I'm going to try it on her first. Well, and if it's tight on her, then I'm going to try blocking it, because it's not blocked. But didn't it turn out cute? So, I don't know. I hope it fits her. If it doesn't, I'll block it and see if that makes it bigger, or I will take it out and I'll knit it again, because I enjoyed every stitch knitting that yarn of that Juanita sent me, and it's not gonna go in some random giveaway box for somebody who, you know, has a smaller head, unless it would be for Isabel. She's moving back north. Yeah, so that would be it. If Isabel would wear it, that would be great to have Juanita's yarn on Isabel's head. But it's not just going in some gift box thing, so. The Musselboro hat. And if I have to re-knit it, oh gee rats. It's not like, you know, it's not like I didn't enjoy knitting every one of them I've made so far. So I would make it again and make it bigger and be more careful about that, I guess. So Megan has asked me to send a shout out to you guys for suggestions. She wants one of those old-fashioned shawls that they wear like an Outlander, where you wear them around and you cross them and you tie them in the back. You know, like when you're doing the laundry and cooking and you have to wear a shawl all the time. You know what I mean. So she would love a suggestion if you have a pattern for that. She asked me to ask you, and I'm happy to do that. I'll be interested in myself. I actually kind of like those shawls. They just seem so practical. And we do keep our house pretty chilly, and sometimes I'm even chilly in my house, and just a shawl that I could put on and tie it and it would stay, you know. Anyway, so I'll be interested if you have any advice for her. Yesterday, you know, I really low energy because of the not sleeping, and then it turned out my mom was not feeling well, and so I was worried about her, but she's better, I guess. I have to call and double check that she had a good night, but she was better. But she was dehydrated again, and anyway, so she had to go to the hospital and get an IV, which is, you know, your mom's on the way to the hospital is not what you want to hear. So anyway, she came home in the middle of the afternoon, much better. Daddy said she was much better, so she had been sick the night before. I don't know what she has. She's not supposed to be encountering germs there, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, so it was quite a tense day for me. I mean, obviously it was much worse for her, poor thing. But she's home, loving care of my father, and So that turned out okay, but made for a stressful day on top of no sleep. And I was wearing my red turtleneck sweater. I mean, when I got dressed in the morning, I knew I was going to need a hug, you know, and that sweater is like a hug. Of course, this one is too, a little bit. Maybe I still need a hug. But I also sat wrapped up in this blanket the whole time. I told Dennis I need a fire. He says, okay, I have to go get wood. I'm like, never mind. That's why I crocheted this. This is for exactly this purpose, and I was comfortable and it was fine. But Dennis brought me drinks, and I just snuggled here, and he was lovely. And anyway, so I don't know how I'm feeling today. Trying to be a little more energetic. Dennis is taking Aura's computer back to her. He's rebuilt her computer for her. And Russ and Pat are still there. So I may go with him, maybe not take the dogs. And try this hat on Aura and see how she is and say hi to Russ and Pat before they go home tomorrow. Yeah, well, I guess I'll do that because I want to know how this hat is for her. But it was fun to finish it. And I'm a half an hour away from being finished with my jack socks too, because I got to the end of the toe during the Zoom call on Saturday, but I haven't picked them up because I wanted to work on the hat when I was knitting, which wasn't so much. But so I'm finishing the jack socks, and I finished her Musselburgh hat. Maybe I shouldn't jinx myself. I might have to reknit that. Juanita thought there might be enough yarn for some fingerless mitts. I don't know. This is very squishy now because I've been pulling it from the inside. I don't know if there's enough, but there might be enough. But if I made fingerless mitts out of these, they'd be for me and not for Aura. Because I am feeling a little bit jealous about that, how gorgeous the hat turned out. If it fits her in this size, that'll be good, because I'm not tempted to keep it because it is too small for me. And I've never made a hat too small for me. I made a hat too big for me. But that's the first time I made one too small for me. Well, gauge swatches are big fat liars. So I did my gauge, and apparently I did it wrong because I ended up with the wrong size hat. Well, my other two hats that I did were DK. This is more like a fingering sport. But anyway, my point is that I started to say was, I have my Mercury socks that I'm in the middle of, and I will continue knitting on them because I do want to replenish my socks, although I've had quite a few new socks in my drawer lately. But I will finish my Mercury socks because those are the Valentine socks. I know it's not Valentine's Day anymore, but that's okay. Maybe I'll pick up my Forest Park cardigan. I'm right at the mosaic, and I do like mosaic, so maybe I'll pick that up. I would love to have that sweater. I have my Mobius cowl. And I'm not that far from finishing that too, so I'll be working on that because I want to finish that. That's so yummy. Anyway, I'm getting to the point where I'm getting some finishes, and it's time to think about a start. It's time to think about a start. And I don't have anything in my mind. I'm going to go through the Ode to Joy thread, both this year because I'm behind, and maybe even go back and review last year a little bit and see what you guys have been up to and see if I can get some ideas about what I want to do next. I don't know if I want to knit on a sweater, and if I wanted to knit on a sweater, I would hope I was knitting on the Forest Park. But if I don't feel like that, oh, I wonder, I still have that green sweater, the name of it just went out of my head. Can't think of it, but that dark green sweater, it's got the weird sleeves and it's got dot holes all the way through it. You know the one I mean, that I haven't worked on in a year. That one. I could try to figure out where I was with that. See, the thing is that I think I just want something I can pick up and knit or cast on. But both the Forest Park and the whatever that one is, I can't remember the name of, I would need to sit down and think about it a little bit. But I'm not feeling quite so foggy and unmotivated to think about my knitting anymore. I think that's part of getting your mojo back, is the brain power to sort of think about things. Although I could work on my drinks shelf. I could work on my cross stitch. I could work on my drinks shelf a little bit. And I could get my Dragons of Sumatra out again. I really do like that. And I got a light bulb. I got a light bulb in my lamp. It came in the mail. So now I can see. I could hardly see on Sunday night. Yeah. And the drinks on the drink shelf are very light gray against the white. So, yeah. So I'm really happy to have my light back. So maybe I'll stitch, because I really need it for stitching. Anyway, I'm feeling a little enthusiastic about the day, just thinking about, you know, projects and what I want to do, and that's good. I hope the hat fits Aura and everything turns out great. I'm worried that she'll put it on, oh no, it's great, and she won't tell me it really feels a little tight, and then she just doesn't wear it. Of course, I take her almost everywhere. She would have a lot of nerve not to put that hat on, right? While I'm taking her places. She might drive herself tomorrow. She was talking about trying to drive herself tomorrow, so we'll see. Anyway, I am feeling a little more energetic, excited, thinking about, you know. And the other thing that I think helped me yesterday, even though I had kind of a not great day, the house was clean. It helps me. So maybe I need to be more vigilant about my house, because it really did feel like it was a big help that I woke up in the morning and the house was clean, because we had company the night before, and I had cleaned. And I've discovered this with you about 57 times in the last 2 years, right? Sometimes it takes a few, you know, repetitions to get through. Anyway, so I guess I'm feeling better. I wasn't sure how I was doing when I was laying in bed before I got up and took my shower. But I guess I'm feeling okay talking to you. It helps to talk to you. Thank you. You're such good listeners. I appreciate it. Anyway, if you have any suggestions for Megan for one of those old-fashioned shawls that wrap, you know, that go over your shoulders across and come back around and tie, we would both be interested in your suggestions. So thank you in advance. And I guess I'll talk to you tomorrow. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please stay safe and stay safe.